Salutations, humans. It's your boy B-Rob. Of course it's me. I'm talking. You hear my voice and you're listening to my show right now. But before we get started proper like, because you know Hoppy gonna come in and tell us a crazy ass story, I want to talk to you about two apps. One is being, that sounds weird, right? The Laughable app is a comedy app that focuses on comedians and comedians that have podcasts. Also, other podcasters like myself. And they have a platform to where you as a podcaster can be heard, whether you do comedy, stories, or whatever other bullshit that you do on your podcast, like I do on my podcast. So shout outs to the Laughable app for giving me a platform to where my voice can be heard. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to the Lemur app. That's Limor. Join the conspiracy. It's a social audio platform. What that means is you can pretty much download the app, which I recommend you do, and you pretty much have a podcast studio in your pocket. So you just get the app, start up a profile, hit the little microphone button, say whatever it is the fuck you want to say, press the stop button, do your little edits, and boom, you got your own little social experiment called the Lemur Conspiracy. Podcasting in your pocket. I mean, it's a cool thing, man. And I've been using it a lot. They're not paying me. They're not sponsoring me, which I wish both of these apps would. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And if you want to hear me just spew more of what is on my mind, I usually do it on the Lemur app. So check both of those apps out. And that's it. Here's Hoppy.
What's up, B-Rod? What's up, everybody? It's Hoppy. I got to make it quick because I'm at a charity concert at my horror studio. Got a 20-piece punk marching band called What Cheer. Got some other folks in there tonight, but got about 150 people out here. It's not even midnight yet, and we done had some comedy pop off. My one homie pulls up. He's drunk as shit when he gets there, carrying a stop sign. Apparently, he ran over a big stop sign, and he carries the stop sign in. So I go talking to some other people, come back. This drunk sumbitch has done drawn a face on it, put some clothes on it, and is taking a nap on a couch with his stop sign. And he said he named it Steven. Steven. I mean, really? So next, we was over here after the first band got done, Isolation Chamber Ensemble. They're dope. Check them out. But, dude come over drunk as fuck, stumbling up, and he was like, hey, ask me if I'm a tree. So, you know, I'll oblige you drunk motherfuckers. I says, hey man, are you a tree? This motherfucker breaks out in a horribly loud belly laugh, falls over on his side, snorts, guffaws, vomits, and he says, of course I'm not a fucking tree, you idiot. Do I look like a fucking tree? And passes straight the fuck out. I'm gonna get back out there. Love y'all. Peace.
You are now listening to Random Ramblings with Rob. Yay! Yeah!
What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Ramblers with Rob podcast. First and foremost, before I get started with today's invigorating episode, I didn't know what word I was going to place right there. But anyway, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week and listening to this silly thing that we call a podcast. I don't know if I want to call it a podcast anymore. It's just a show. because the origin of the podcast came from Apple and the iPod, and you cast from the pod and the iPod, and the podcast was born and some shit. At least that's how I remember or heard it, or secondhand heard it. Don't quote me on that. It's not gospel. It is not written in stone. But fuck it, you're listening. But fuck it. And speaking of butt fucking, we're gonna get into what we're trying to do right here. Shout outs to Hobby Lobby. Yes, shout outs to Hobby Lobby, because I went there the other day and I got some paracord. I'm gonna make me some more paracord bracelets. But shouts out to Hoppy Rogers for contributing to the show once again with his whimsical tales that he weaves and everything. It's just a regular part of the show now. It's just Hoppy has his own segment before the show starts, or whenever I remember to put the shit into the edit. So you heard him at the top of the show. Also, you heard it at the beginning of the show as well. I got a new intro done by Mikey Flash, and you can follow him on Twitter at Mike Schmidt09. I butcher names. I swear to God I do. So I'm going to spell it out for you. MikeSchmidt09. Follow him on Twitter. He does commission work and all this other good things. He was just feeling charitable today to hook me up with something new for the show that I can randomly insert in the front of my episodes. So big shout outs to Mikey Flash once again for the custom made intro. But anyway, I have a guest, and what's going to be cool about these next 3 to 4 episodes, this is a 4-part series. And I got the guys from the Just in Time podcast, the JNT Baggers. See, you got to watch how you say it, because every time I want to announce it, I want to say the JNT Baggers. You know, there's too many T's in there. It's too many testes. So it's the JNT Baggers. And we got Rookie, DJ, and Corn. And they got many other aliases. If you listen to the show, you hear about 30 different names for one person and shit. I always get confused and everything. They got Millie, red corn. So corn is corn, regardless. And you eat it and you shit it out, it comes out the same way. But I got each individual host on here. And over the next 3 to 4 episodes, you're going to get to know each character or person involved in the Just in Time podcast. First up this week is Rookie. I'm just going to go in the order that I recorded them in, so it's no surprise to those fellas. They thought I was going to switch it up and make it random, but I didn't. And I'm going to apologize in advance because the recording that I did with Rookie and DJ, I was out of town in San Antonio, and I was just recording from crappy hotel Wi-Fi as I did with Venus. So that was like an extra special case with Venus because I was recording on Wi-Fi and she was using a phone and the signals just wasn't meshing. But regardless of the fact, we got it done, and I'm satisfied with the product as best as I can get it. And big shout outs to Venus Versace, talented young lady, and I can't follow her on Instagram anymore because she's showing off her hindquarters and her cleavage and everything, and my wife monitors my accounts. So once again, shout outs to Venus Versace. You can follow her on Instagram and Twitter at Venus Versace. That's 2 S's. And you can look at her buttocks and cleavage and everything for me, and you can just I'm blind. You can give me some braille, like, and I can. Anyway, but this episode I talk with Rookie, and we just go over a lot of things. I ask him mostly all 3 of the guys the same questions, but at some point we kind of branch off into our own little segments of what we talk about. We talk about prison, and specifically butt sex. Not that we want to partake, but just the fact of it. We speak about movies and how they got into podcasting and podcasts in general. So we got a lot of ground to cover, and we're going to jump into that right now on this edition of the Random Rounds of Rob podcast featuring the JNT Baggers, most specifically Rookie.
Hello?
Surprise, motherfucker.
Hey, Rob, ready to fuck this goat?
Hell yeah.
How you doing today, man?
Chilling. I say what I used to say when when I was in the military. You know, people would say, they'd be like, "Hey, man, what you like?" I give them a call in the office, or they come in and like, "Hey, man, what's up?" And I was like, "Shit, I ain't doing nothing but eating cakes and pies."
Cakes and pies.
Yeah, which is kind of frowned upon because they want you to be all lean and mean.
Oh yeah, that's actually pretty cool though.
Yeah, I did have cakes and pies in my desk though.
Oh shit. Then yeah, it's definitely
It's delicious.
That's what's up.
Gotta have the snacks, man.
See,
Especially if somebody come up in there and they talking all that bullshit, I throw like a little Debbie snack cake at them, like boom. It's like it's like them Snickers commercials. It's like, you aren't you when you hungry.
Have you seen the green snowballs now?
You said what? Said what?
Yeah, the snowball hostess cake style thing is the what the hell's up with it? What the fuck is the green shit for?
I don't know. Maybe it was Ghostbusters inspired.
Oh, I hope not, because I just saw that recently, and that's one of the, not the movie, just like that might be an expired hostess snack.
Yeah, that's why it's green. It's moldy. Oh, shit. But hey, man, wanted to get you on here because it's my show and I do what I want. But been listening to your podcast. It is called the Just in Time podcast, or the JNT podcast. And I haven't been listening long. I think y'all been doing it for what, over a year now?
Yeah, just pretty much, I think like a month over a year, maybe 2 months over a year now.
Sweet. And like for me, you know, being a listener of your show or whatever, I mean, you got an interesting dynamic. I mean, you got the family guy, you got the old lady and the kid or whatever, and then freaking Tiger, or Corn, he freaking just like out there all willy-nilly with his dick hanging out all the time. And then you got D or whatever the fuck, just kind of like coasting in between, you know. And it's just crazy.
I would have to say he is definitely the glue that holds Corn's crazy ass and me together.
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of see that because I mean, it's like he's the ringleader. He's the one kind of herding all the cats. But as far as you go, I mean, you lead a different path or whatever, because I mean, it's three of you. I mean, you come together, you form Voltron or the Megazord or whatever you form into, and it's a great show.
Oh, well, thank you, Rob. You know, I'm very much appreciative for that, especially since being a listener of yours as well. That's one of those that's pretty awesome to hear. I always love your random Walmart escapades. I actually saw it just the other day where you had our theme song playing in the background with John frickin' Smith, so that was pretty fucking awesome. We're like, oh shit, he's at Walmart, and bam, welcome to the rabbit hole. So it was pretty sick. But yeah, I do like the dynamic that's set up now, especially with us, because how D's more of a chillax type of dude, which if you listen to the most recent one, I think he put it up possibly yesterday, or I think today, if not yesterday. We finally have some friction.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, that one was pretty intense. It was a total non-political episode.
But like, from your perspective, I mean, I want to section you off from Corn and D, and everything, and get your path and your trajectory up until to where we are now. I know I just said a whole bunch of razzmatazz that really didn't mean shit, but I want to start from your beginning up until you joined the podcast or y'all formed the podcast. I mean, where are you from?
Well, me personally, I'm actually from the same shitty town that we talk about, him in California.
Mm-hmm.
Lived here entire life, 23 years, so, it's kind of weird being the younger guy out of the group with the family, the kid, the wife, doing the whole, I guess, adulting thing.
Yeah.
Next, she'll be trying to put me in a romper. I'm not sure what's going on there, but...
Please don't.
I hope not. I am very pale underneath my summer tan from California. Outside of that, anything that is not supposed to see the light of day looks like a moonlight. Well, it was a trip, essentially, like, me and, I know it's kind of like trying to branch off from just D and Corn, but it's kind of like me and D came up with the idea one day. We were hanging out, chilling, because back in the day, we always had the idea of, just sitting there talking and whatnot. Well, came across the final idea of, shit, we can finally broadcast what we were thinking about back in the day, now on the new platform, or at least we took forever to find podcasting. Shit. But, hell, both of us were big into comedy. Hell, growing up as a kid, I actually have to credit my, parents for letting me into some pretty, not fucked up comedy clubs or anything like that, but pretty fucked up areas where I could actually listen to some comedy of adult style at a younger age to try to turn it into what we're doing now with like the off the wall, I guess, kind of alternative comedy, if you want to call it that, or whatever the hell you do want to label it as.
No, it's
so
the rabbit hole. That's what it's labeled as.
It is the rabbit hole.
And it's interesting that you bring that up or whatever, because I mean, I've talked to other people that do podcasts now and things like that, and there's a lot of it is rooted in comedy. I mean, life is funny and you gotta laugh sometimes to keep from crying, but it was just like you said, it's a similar story. People talking about them themselves or them and a friend was always talking about doing something like what they're doing now way back when, and now it's just coming to fruition.
It definitely seems like I guess on stating that is one of those, everyone has that very pinnacle point, I guess, where they're like, finally, fuck it at the end of the day, to where it's like, what, fuck it, who cares if they listen? Oh, me and him, I know for a minute there, it was kind of just me and DJ doing it for a second. Corn got brought in, I think, like 4 or 5 episodes in. And then we also used to have another cat with us, Ethan. He came in, we were running a 4-man show. Ethan kind of, flaked out. Corn flaked out for, I think, a consecutive 17 episodes or some shit like that. So it just turned into a 2-man show for a minute. And me and, honestly, me, DJ, and Corn all kind of grew up a little bit of the same. We all came from the same area, or at least by the time we all met. We've been friends a very long time, so that's where all that came from. Just a spur of the moment, like, oh, fuck it, we can do it finally. Hit the comedy bit and tried to do it. If it hits, it hits. I can't tell. That's the one thing that kind of bums me out, I guess. And I guess a little bit of everyone with podcasting is while you're podcasting, you have no reaction like a comedian standing in front of a crowd, so you can't judge your comedy weight by actually, okay, what hit? Did this hit at that moment in time? No, fuck, oh, God damn it. Fuck it, let's just talk about movies. Like, let's just skip the jokes now. Let's just talk about movies.
Yeah. Now, speaking about, at an earlier age, talking about doing a comedy, a variety show or something like that, did you ever want to pursue, a career in stand-up comedy?
The one thing I have a problem with is social anxiety. Very bad.
That and public speaking, and I got you.
Like, when anytime I have any form of public speaking format, like this in itself, podcasting, talking on the phone and stuff, doesn't really bother me as much. But I work in customer service, so I'm, to be quite honest, hate to tell listeners, but I'm constantly high at my job. To get over the social anxiety, to actually calm myself down and be able to talk to people and be able to look at them in the face. I have that Ricky Williams effect. You know what I'm talking about?
No, explain.
It's one of those, just a whole bunch of crowd starts making my mind rush. A million, miles a second starts making me nervous and jittery, and I don't like that feeling.
Yeah, I get you. I get what you're saying.
Well, one thing that, is a definite cornerstone of our podcast is the pod culture. Hell, if you ever have smoked weed, or, if you've never tried, I didn't want to assume anything, but
have you? Yeah, you can assume. I'm African American. Okay. I've smoked the weeds.
Well, hell, you look at a lot of white guys and you're like, white people aren't supposed to smoke. This is the 50s. We have 4 cylinders in every car.
Yeah, see, why don't you go down to the corner store and give me a pint of whiskey?
None of that wacky-backy here. Oh, being in California, that's the sweetest thing. It takes about 5 minutes to get a medical card. Outside of that, it's legal to possess. So,
yeah,
consumption's fine.
I heard
anything over 21.
Yeah, I heard your process on one of your shows. He's like, I just went in the office and filled out the paper, and like 15 minutes later, I had a car.
Yeah, it's just one of those, like, what the fuck? But outside of that one, it just helps out with a lot of working aspects, because how I work in constant customer service, not so much in the factor of like working at Walmart and shit, where you're dealing with customers like, hey, I want some sugar. But I'm in the rental business, so it's like, okay, fuck, now you want to rent this? Oh, God damn it, now I have to go over everything with it and go into details and shit. I don't like that, explaining it to groups of people.
Yeah.
But we're anywhere from, like, seeing like 5 people at just one big old mob of 5 people coming around you, and it looks like a street fight. And you're like, fuck that, no, you know what I mean? But me and Corn actually had the same job for a long ass time too, up until he had a few drunk accidents and slipped into his own rabbit hole on that one. Which I'm pretty sure if you listen back, you'll find out all this backstory on that. Okay. Well, with me, I work at a like actual rental lake place.
Okay.
So I run like boats and shit like that, and also run the register, all that good stuff. So I'm sitting there trying to explain boats constantly to people, like, oh, this is how you drive it, this is how you do this.
Yes,
and
this is the boat. This is where you put the hose. Boats and hose.
Boats and hose. And people flip out. I can say from personal experience, I hate to kill the stereotype with effect, but Asians can't drive boats.
I thought it must be they can't drive, period, because I heard they can't drive cars either.
Nope. My daughter's Asian. She can't really ride her bike that well. So. Yeah, it's the great things of just watching crazy shit too there. So that's where a lot of the, I guess, aspect of me like doing the podcast is kind of relaxing, chilling, getting away from everything that's going on with work and everything going on. If there is any problems at home, anything like that, getting away from that and just relaxing and chilling with buddies.
Sweet. I can dig that. Shit, I had a question. I lost it. I gotta tap my fingers, see if I can get it back. As far as shit, I really lost it.
It's all good. We'll come back to it. It's like a championship ring. You always want the second question to come back.
Yeah, and go fall down this rabbit hole.
That was a shitty analogy,
I guess. Hey man, they all can't be winners. But like podcasting and everything. Like you said it took you both, well, I'm gonna say you because I'm speaking to you. It took you a while to find it. I mean, what other mediums were you using other than podcasts? Like what shows and TV shows and all kind of stuff you were watching and kind of draw your comedic inspiration from?
I would have to say the darker sense of the comedy that I try to get from is probably like the old school cats that are really fucked up, especially in today's society with everyone needing safety pins and shit. It's one of those, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, guys like that actually fucking just said the shit that we're saying right now, and at a time where the stuff we say now would be blasphemy.
Yeah.
It's crazy shit. Robin Williams, when he was actually doing stand-up, even up to right before he passed away, I'm pretty sure Weapons of Self-Destruction came out not too long before, or not too, long before he passed away. Dude was funnier than shit. If you ever watch his stand-up, how Eddie Murphy growing up as a kid, that was one of those, again, parents let me watch, and I guess it was a mistake. But growing up, I had two different sides with my parents. My parents were the type that were old-ass generation from the South. So all of them had ties into well-mannered and all that crazy shit, all that normal bullshit you think of when you think of the South. But then they had their wild party sides because they grew up in, like, baby boomer days. So fuck it, let's do some drugs and get fucked up. So I got all spectrums of life from them, and I'm so grateful for that one. So that's what kind of started the comedy bit of it, was just being able to actually have my parents get into shit with me and laugh at jokes that I shouldn't have been listening to in the first place, stuff I would not let my daughter listen to at the same age that I was listening to this shit at.
Yeah.
And then how it went into second part was mainly just finding out about podcasting through help Kevin Smith, essentially.
God damn it, he's the fucking gateway drug.
He is just as bad as tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
He gets everyone psyched, and that's actually a really cool thing that I was thinking about when I was like, oh shit, a podcast would be cool. So it's just friends talking, or help, two dudes talking.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really matter if it's 1, 2, 8, 9, 15, as long as you can somehow cut it to where it sounds good.
Yeah. And what about those first initial podcasts that you listened to kind of started to draw you in and make you really think that was something that you wanted to do?
The main influences definitely for the podcasting world and everything that brought me on in, where I only knew of maybe 4 or 5, big time podcasts when I first started listening to podcasts, and then we started one and started jumping into smaller guys that aren't world-renowned podcasters, but are definitely fucking heavyweights, you know what I mean, in the podcasting world. Mm-hmm. But the main guys were like Steve Dave, of course. Honestly, anything from Smodco.
Yeah, I can.
The Steve Dave, the Hollywood Babylon, Batman on Batman. But there was one specific episode of Fat Man on Batman that got me really wanting to do podcasts, but I guess it's too specific because it was a part 2.
Yeah.
But his very first 2 episodes were with Mark Hamill.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. That was real good.
Oh, my God. Just those 2 alone, and especially how he told the story, it was just like, holy... Mark Hamill, you did so much. And how you would think, Kevin Smith would sit there and try to steal the show, being as great as he was in directing, acting, and everything like that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you would say, like, great in acting, because he's usually silent. But fuck, I would have to say something every once in a while.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, it's just fucking, it's crazy to see him just go for it, dude. You tell the story.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, I don't know, he's in the center of everything, but he's not in the center of everything. He kind of like puts himself in, but he surrounds himself with all the key elements for his projects and everything.
It's a very... I want to sit there and just talk to him about the process on that one. Just like, what the fuck do you do? Because this is trippy as shit.
Yeah. And it was pretty much the same for me or whatever. It was just like Kevin Smith fucking started listening to Smodcast and some of the other stuff. Him and Jason Mewes, how they did that addiction podcast. And then
that one was good.
Yeah, and then I started, I was like, all right, this is cool, but I mean, I like wrestling. What can I listen that's wrestling related? So the first podcast I found was the Don, Tony, and Kevin Castle show. And I listened to that for a while, and that was like the only things that I was listening to, that show and some of the Kevin Smith stuff. And then I just started doing other things. I said, what else do I like? Well, I like movies. So I found, I think around the time I was really into The Walking Dead, it was in its earlier seasons. So I was like, maybe I should listen to something about horror or something like that. So I found this show called Better Off Undead. The premise of the show was supposed to be a podcast by these three writers that they wanted to talk about the horror movie genre and just horror stuff in general. That's what the basis of the show was going to be. Zombie movies, all kind of shit. But as the show evolved, because they're writers. They write a whole bunch of different things outside of that genre of horror, and they write a lot of fantasy stuff. So what the show evolved into was just them bullshitting and pitching all kind of crazy different concepts and coming up with, ideas for books that they would eventually publish off of those conversations that they had on that show. So eventually, the damn Better Off Undead show wasn't even about what it initially started out being, and it just became this totally different thing. And I think the name of it now is the worst podcast ever, or the worst show ever, is what it officially is now. And it's just those guys, because they got another podcast, because their writers is called the Self-Publishing Podcast. And since they are writers, they try to mentor other writers in how to go about publishing and self-publishing and writing and editing and stuff like that. But the other show that I kind of gravitated toward, the Better Off Undead, which is now the worst podcast or show ever, is what I got hooked on. And it was just those guys having that conversation and making up stuff on the spot and actually have it develop into something else. So I was really digging that. And same thing with Kevin Smith. It was just him and his homeboy in the room getting high, talking about shit. And I was like, why am I not doing this? Why can't I do this? I was like, I always wanted to write a book, but my mind don't work like that. I can't sit down and fucking put a pen to paper and freaking write shit down. I could, but it's hard as fuck for me to concentrate on that shit. Even sitting in front of the computer and trying to type some stuff. But I wanted to write a book about stories and stuff that I experienced in the military and stories from other people that I know in the military. Because, you get around, you share a whole bunch of funny shit and stuff you've been through. So I went to the podcasting route because, hey, I don't have to write shit down. I can just be like, hey, man, remember that time we did this and this and this? And I can get all my military buddies together and we can tell all these stories and all kind of shit. And then I got a badass memory and I can keep it for memorabilia and going back and be like, oh, I remember that time. I think I got an audio file on this and, I can pull it up. But I got out of the military and, I got people that are still in the military and I'm not really accessible to them like I was when I was, working with them every day. So the show started changing into something else. I started reaching back to some of the guys that I grew up with. And then through other podcasts and, being a podcaster myself, I was able to network and just get random people on the show and we just bullshit about everything. So it started out as one thing and it's slowly turning into becoming something else. It's just fucking crazy.
All right, and I gotta say, damn, if you get into one of those damn awesome Google apps or something, write that book. I will just speak to it, and hopefully it gets the shit right, because I can't write words. It's in my head, but on the paper it looks all fucked up like I'm a caveman.
Well, that's the thing, because y'all use Google Voice, right? And it's pretty much some of the same transcription software, man. And Google Voice can't transcribe for shit. Unless I'm talking like one word per second and shit. The cat went down the street.
I don't know any phone voice recognition system that you can actually just sit and spit into it and it works perfectly fine.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta have some patience with that shit. Because, I mean, look at Siri. Siri.
Everyone. Oh.
Yeah, be like, Siri.
Siri will get in a fight with you.
Yeah. And be like, I'm not gonna do that shit. It's like, bitch, I toss your ass down the stairs.
Have a nice day.
I remember I jailbroke my phone, my iPhone, when that shit was real popular or whatever. And they had a program in there where you can type in responses for Siri, like based on what people ask it. And then, like, I would say, I love you, Siri. And Siri would respond back, you don't love me, you just love my doggy style.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. In the wrong hands, that would be amazing. Have it in the middle of church.
Oh, what would you program it to say?
That's when you actually get it to start using commas. No, not there, not right now.
Oh man, you trying to get somebody to toe up in church?
Oh, dude, that's the place. That's where fucked up shit's supposed to happen. It's the one place where it's not supposed to happen.
You use that shit like a grenade or whatever. You just you say whatever you say to trigger that response, and you just kind of like throw it up under the podium with a preacher at. Like, thinking they got like.
Oh hell yeah! That's how you get his ass kicked out the entire community of the churchgoers right there.
Oh man, that's horrible.
They'll be thinking little boys running around and shit. That's not good.
Giving them 5 pee-pee touches.
Catholic school, was that a thing?
I would never know. I was like, man, I ain't about to touch you. Get the hell away from me. I didn't like staying in church. It was like I like to go and listen to the musics and everything, and by the time it get around to the benediction, when the preacher start preaching and everything, I'd be like, can we go now? I done seen and heard what I wanted to see and hear.
I got smacked too many times in church from drawing on like the little thing where it's like, oh, we're going to read this. It's like, yeah, the pamphlet, the memo. I would sit there because they used to have those little textbook pencils and stuff, not the actual eraser ones, but little golf ones.
Yeah.
If you want to scribble something in your Bible, like I really like this verse or some shit. I don't know what the fuck people write in their Bible. Whatever they have. But yeah, at that point I would start drawing, and as soon as she noticed, bam, instantly smacked upside the head.
Pow. What was it, like palm to the back of the head?
Yeah, she instantly palm to the back of the head.
See, I got them side pinches or whatever.
Oh, that was my dad. He was fucking. I always considered that weird. Like, why are you pinching me? Hit me. I'm used to that.
It's like I'm used to this. So I said I don't like this, and that's when you turn your Siri on and be like, no, not there. Don't do that.
He would pinch under the arm, right there on the arm. That.
Yeah.
Fucking squeeze that shit and just ow! What the hell? You know, it's one of those. He was in the army. You'd think he would be using some cool ass fucking moves, or like, hell, he didn't do anything afterwards that revolved combat. That's where kids come in, just do it nicely.
Okay.
Not really. That would be horrible. There's too many stories of badness on that one. But all in good fun.
Yeah.
Oh, my mom was actually the one that would beat our ass. My dad was more like you wouldn't want him to even say a word to you if he was pissed.
Yeah. That's how it was with my parents. So like my mom was the one that did all the yelling and screaming and kicking and all kinds of stuff. And my dad, he never laid a hand on me a day in his life. But I've seen him where he got real pissed, and I was just like, ooh, I don't want none of that.
Yeah, I'm backing away from this situation. I'll go hide in a cabinet or something right now. This is not good.
Yeah, because I can remember I was, doing stupid kid shit, and I did something to him or whatever, He's like, boy, one day I'm gonna just hit you and it's gonna be hard and fast. And I was like, oops, okay, I'm sorry. And run away. Run away.
That's intimidating right there. Just, like, not only hard, it's gonna be hard and fast. I'm gonna hit you like Ali. You're gonna be fucked up.
It'd be like motherfucking Chris Tucker, like, which one of you motherfuckers kicked me?
Come on, Lee. That was one, like, my mom always laughed even though she would whoop my ass. That's the fucked up thing. It's like, you can't make a kid laugh as you're whooping their ass. That's a total mind fuck.
That's probably why she did it.
Like, I was one day we were sitting in McDonald's parking lot. My brother-in-law said something fucked up. I didn't even say anything. He said something fucked up, and we were on a bench seat. So I'm in the middle. He's on the side. She's driving. She reaches across to go punch him, smacks me in the face with her fucking big-ass ring that had like a good quarter carat in it. Fucking cracked me open. I'm sorry, honey, I was meaning to hit him. And just the way she said it, though, like nonchalantly started making me laugh, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Man, I remember one of the worst ass whippings I got in my life from my mama. It was when the Super Nintendo first came out. And the only game they had for Super Nintendo was motherfucking Street Fighter 2. And the system, I forget exactly how much the Super Nintendo was when it first came out. I think it was like maybe $150. It was something like that. And then the fucking game, the Street Fighter game itself was like $70. So they got it for me and everything. And now I was reading the freaking instruction manual, because back then, you know, the video games, the fighting games came with the instruction manuals with all the moves in it. So I was reading that bitch. I was trying to remember all the moves and everything. And I took it to school one day, and I was in the restroom. I was in the bathroom reading over the book and everything. I was like, oh man, I got all this shit. I memorized it. And like one of the guys that I was in class with, I was like, hey man, you want this Street Fighter instruction book? He got all the moves in it. He's like, yeah, I'll take that shit. So I go home, and my older brother came over to the house, and we playing Street Fighter, and I'm fucking him up. I'm doing all yukins, fucking yukins, all kind of crazy shit. I'm fucking him up. And then he's like, man, how you do that? I was like, you do it like this. And I'm trying to show him on the controller. He's like, where's your instruction book at? I was like, oh, I gave it away. He's like, what? And he went, Mama, you paid all this money for this shit, and he giving stuff away, and like, you gotta understand that, like, I'm the baby of 18 kids, so it's not like my brother was older than me, but it wasn't like he was a couple years older than me. This motherfucker had a decade and some change on me. So he's he's a fucking grown ass man going in there snitching on me like a 12-year-old and shit. And in the way he said it, is to, like, you know, it's not informing her that, hey, it's just a little paper booklet that comes with the game.
No, it's like you gave away the game and the system and the controller.
Yeah, exactly.
TV, only half of it.
Yeah. And she came in there and said, what? Whipped my ass across the bed. She whipped my ass back across the bed. I tried to go under the bed and hide from the ass whooping. She fucked me up over a goddamn instruction booklet.
Damn. See, that's the family thing, though. Any sibling has that, like, instant, I'm gonna fuck you, and they use it.
Mm-hmm. I can remember one of the...
So I was a baby of 18, but I was a baby of 4.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, by the time my parents got to me, it was like, fuck it, half the time.
Yeah, same.
But when it did come down, I was like, God damn it, dude, seriously? You got mad at me because some shit I didn't even do?
Yeah. I remember...
that one, just a booklet, badass ass whooping, god damn.
I remember I almost got my ass whipped for calling my sister a hoe.
Just a hoe?
Yeah, I mean, but
like
this how
Christmas term, like a hoe, or
no, like a
hoe,
like a hoe, like street hoe. But like that's how I recovered though, cause like she was talking all kind of crazy shit to me, and I was like, she was like walking away. I was like under my breath, like real low. I was like, hoe, and she's like, what? I'm telling mama. And she's like, Mama coming there. What you say? I was like, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas.
Oh, nice save.
Yes, that was the recovery.
I don't know, my parents, that was one of the even close. Like, I didn't say screw. Like, if you were, like, screw you, Dad, you would get punched for that shit.
Oh, hell yeah. You don't say that to your parents. I say,
Like,
I'm about to screw my foot in your ass.
Yeah, pretty much. So I can actually, like, bear witness to that whole, like, oh, white people were all crazy with their parents. Fuck, no, not with my parents. Maybe with other white parents. My parents were fucked up. Well, in that sense of, like, no, you will pay respect to any elder. It doesn't matter who it is, or you're going to get smacked upside the head.
Same. Yeah. But,
no, honestly, nowadays, I can actually say I'm thankful for that one.
Yeah. I mean, we's a long ways from that, dude.
We're at Mel Rompers. That's the longest we can get away. I thought we left that shit back in time, back in the 20s and the 30s, dude, even the 40s.
So there's only one.
You know, you could play World War II.
So there's only one male romper, and that's the inmate jumpsuit.
I do not. Oh no, I don't think any male should not want to be in that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't put that shit on.
I don't. I don't know if there's that much, man-to-man rape going on in prison. But I assume everyone's trying to get your asshole. I've never been. I never want to go. I know Corn was talking there for a minute about, 6 months in, questioning. That's not cool. Don't even want to question that. Nope. None of that.
That was a whole... I'm going to have to ask him about that whenever he come this way. But, like, man,
dude,
let's think about it. 6 months in prison. Obviously, you can't see any females. You're freaking, you're limited to what you can do. You isolated to a cell with a whole bunch of other stanky motherfuckers and everything. Yeah, things could get bad, but you still, alive, for one. You still getting to eat. You get some kind of physical exercise other than defending your life. But
I don't understand the whole, on either side of the ballpark, I guess, on women or men in jail, consummating with each other. Because that's one of the, dude, you're at home and you could even have a squeeze of some sort, a Mrs. or a Mr. or whatever, and you still masturbate.
Yeah.
It could go, I'm pretty sure all guys do it from when they hit puberty until they first get laid. They go that whole span with just their hand.
Yeah. But, man, I don't know, it's deeper than that. Not like your butthole deep, but it's just, I don't know, man, it's an addiction. It can be. Anything in excess can't necessarily be good for you, and it can, kind of warp your perception upon things. So, if you used to getting some sex all the time and everything, and you kind of like fiending for it and depending on it and everything, when it's taken away from you, shit, you don't know how to act. It's like, trying to go cold turkey on a hard substance. So, they get in prison, and it's just like, oh, this butthole is looking mighty enticing.
What? I've never been there, so I can't say one way or the other on that one. So I guess I guess I can kind of see it that way, but I'm gonna definitely try to stay away from that, so it never happens.
It depends on the person too, man. Everybody not like that, because hell, I've been on deployments for 6 or more months and everything. That's kind of like prison, and I wasn't trying to jump on nobody's booty hole.
Yeah, exactly. It's you can't go home. You are not able to go home in any sort of way. It's not like, when you're over there on deployment, I'm pretty sure there's no like, hey, dude, I don't feel good today. I just kind of want to go back to the States for a minute.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Now, that's another one. I've never been on deployment, so I cannot speak on that one. But, yeah, that's one of those that I'm pretty sure, you don't get to just take a time out.
Nah. Yeah, but I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't even know what to say about that. It's just like I can only speak for myself. It's just fucking weird, man. It's like I'm gonna jump on this grown, sweaty man's booty hole.
And that is, if you do that, wouldn't that technically be at the least bi-curious? If you have these old cats come out of the pen after like 6 years and they're like, yeah, I had sex with a dude, then that's pretty gay, right? No, it's not gay. It's prison. No, it's still another man on man. That means you at least, at one point in time were somewhat attracted to another man.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's weird, man. Because there are some people that can just turn it on and off like that, and I don't understand it. It's like, well, I'm in prison, I'm gonna fuck this dude in the ass, and then now I'm out, and I'm never gonna do it again.
I don't quite get it either. Because it's like how you're saying with breaking off of a hard substance. Oh, anything like that? Oh, it's like even something a little bit smaller than like heroin.
Yeah.
Oh, just breaking away from smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that instant nicotine addiction. Try to do that for 6 months. You start smoking grass, I guess. I don't fucking know. You see plenty of people in jail finding random shit from cigarettes, rolling it up, and trying to smoke it.
Yeah, and that's another thing. While we're talking about cigarettes and shit, man, I know people just like legalized substances, period, like cigarettes and alcohol and everything. All right, I joined the military. We go to boot camp for 3 months. So if you smoke and drank before then, like heavily to the point to where you couldn't function, that 3 months is going to be kind of hell for you. But by the time you get through to the end, you're going to be more physically fit. You're going to be feeling better because you didn't have all that alcohol and all them cigarettes and everything. But motherfuckers will go through that whole 3 months, be in the best shape of their life, for some people. And they get to the end, they graduate, and you see them. A lot of times you're going to see those people again because you're going to have to come back for infantry training. And you see them there, and they fucking smoking cigarettes and dipping tobacco and all kind of shit, man. I was like, dog, man, you just cleaned yourself out of that for like 3 or so months, and you just jump right back into it. And some people will be in boot camp and be like, man, I can't wait till I get out of here so I can have a cigarette, dog. And I'm like, what's the point, man? You done got rid of it. I mean, why go back to it?
Yeah, if you can get past 3 months of quitting smoking, just continue.
Yeah.
And that's when I do smoke cigarettes, so I can't sit there and be like, no, everyone should stop smoking cigarettes. But if I went 3 months consecutively without smoking a cigarette, I'm damn sure done with cigarettes.
Yeah. And I never got the appeal of cigarettes, man. I mean, I've tried, I can tell you all the times I've tried cigarettes in my life. One time, the very first time, I used to work at Popeyes, and dude lit up a cigarette when he was in the back, and he had to go do something. He put it down. He said, hey, man, make sure this shit don't go out. And in hindsight, me thinking about this and telling it to you now, that was pretty nasty of me. I took the cigarette, and I took a puff of it just to see what it was all about. And I was like, ugh, this is fucking nasty. Then I put your dude's cigarette back and didn't say shit. So that was pretty nasty on my part. And the second time I smoked a cigarette, I mean, I didn't even really smoke it. I tried it. It was just like the girl that I was talking to at the time, she smoked cigarettes. And I lit a cigarette for her, So I took a puff and I was like, oh, why did I even do that? I like you too much to do this. Ugh, this is fucking stupid. So, and then the third time, I was drinking. And another car plowed, another car plowed into me. And when, cops and shit showed up, I was like, I didn't want them to smell alcohol on my breath. So I grabbed one of my homeboy's cigarettes and I started dragging the hell out of that shit. But I mean, I never had the urge or wanted to smoke cigarettes or whatever because the shit was disgusting. Now weed, whew, that's a whole different story.
Oh, that one I can actually admit that tastes a lot better. It does a lot better things for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With cigarettes, I guess on that one like didn't really hit 11, tried cigarettes, and I could honestly say it was like one of those kids from like the 40s. All right, I'll smoke down cigarettes now. Let's just smoke cigarettes walking to school, I guess.
Like, when was the first time
Like,
you ever smoked weed?
That was probably what I was asking. Oh, my first time smoking weed was probably like a year and a half later, like 12 and a half, something like that.
Yeah, that's about the same for me.
I'm a little hellion.
Yeah, that's about the same for me. I started smoking weed like when I was 13 or whatever. And I smoked weed from 13 to 18.
Did you jump into the military as soon as you hit 18?
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I, from 13 years old to 18 years old, I smoked weed, and then I stopped because I joined the military.
Okay.
And
it's starting to come back to me from the Lost episode we did.
The Lost episode.
The Lost episode.
Yeah.
The Vault.
Yeah, it was just weird because, like, it was every day damn near, man. It was like, smoke weed, and then just one day I just stopped. And I was like, okay, I'm done now. And it was just like that. It wasn't like no tapering off period. I just like, okay, I'm done. And that was it.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool, though. Not too many people have that. See, that's that switch, though, too. I'm not saying your booty hole switch. I'm just saying the switch to be able to do shit like that is actually a very good switch to have, though.
Yeah, I guess it was the absence thing. It was like, I know I wanted to go into the military, and I knew if I went into the military, I couldn't have weed. And weed wasn't important enough to me not to go into the military, so I was just like, okay, this has to go, and that's what it was. Now, I'm not saying that every now and then I get a cool breeze and some hints of reefer would creep across my nose, and I would be like, man, I would like to hit that right now. I'm not saying that at all, but it's like, I don't have to have it. I don't really need it. So, I mean, fuck it, I don't care.
That's I don't want alcohol. I have that switch. It's like, I don't want to drink. But every once in a while, you're like, fuck it. I kind of feel like having a good time. Pass me a beer.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same way with alcohol, but like with me, it's kind of like, if it's there, I want to drink it. But if it's like not there and I don't even thinking about it. I'm not even thinking about it. So like every now and then I go out and I buy like a 6-pack or whatever, and I put that 6-pack in the refrigerator, and probably maybe 3 days, that 6-pack will be gone because I know it's in the fucking refrigerator. But if I never bought an alcoholic beverage in like a month, I wouldn't even think about it because it's not around.
Exactly. Mine, I could have it around just like, I'm not too hardcore in drinking, but I don't know, it's one of those like, kick back every once in a while, usually with the, sweetie and whatnot.
Yeah.
Hey, you want a beer? Huh? Sure. Outside of that, I don't know, I never really got too hardcore into drinking. I was more of the pothead.
Yeah.
Go get baked, hang out. I had a few fun parties and whatnot, or partying days, I guess, when I was a little bit younger. Like I was saying, I was a hellion, so I was 15, 16, like, oh yeah, let's go get drunk and fucking do stupid shit. I'm glad I got past that stage.
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, let's...
Yeah, usually when you do shit like that early, it kind of like, you kind of taper off when you start to get older.
It would be horrible if I was trying to do that shit now, because then everyone, once you hit past 18, don't do stupid shit. Just don't do it.
Well, we would like to
stay
encourage.
Home if you're gonna do stupid shit.
Yeah, we would like to encourage everybody not to do stupid shit. Period. But hey, yeah, I mean,
any age, as a matter of fact, any age, don't do stupid shit. If you think it's stupid, just don't do it.
Yeah.
We have enough stupid shit with jackass in the world, so.
Now, we're gonna do a little bit of skipping around and everything. I mean, we kind of got your history on your podcast and everything, like, pretty much the basis of how it started and, what it is now. When did that relationship form with UD and Corn?
They were in the DJ is a year older than Red Corn, but they're a year older in grade in school and whatnot. Same age, just a year older. And me, I'm way younger than those guys, like compared to school wise. DJ was out of high school by the time I actually met him in my freshman year. Corn was a senior my freshman year, and I've known Corn since I was, I want to say like 6, something like that. So me and him always hung out, as kids, because he was friends with my older brother. So since he was friends with my older brother, it was kind of just rolled in. He had to drag me along everywhere, so I wound up making friends with Red Corn. And over time, DJ came along through that buddy I was talking about earlier, Ethan.
Yeah.
That dude, essentially my brother was the one that introduced all of us. He just kind of phased out a little bit sooner than everyone else, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
He went from being just like us to essentially doing the same thing that you did. Going from party style to, I'm going into the military, went into the military, got out the military, and did his own thing. All of us kind of just started chilling together while he was gone and created a good bond. So me and DJ has been friends for a few years now. I want to say about 10 years now.
Oh, okay.
So it was just a long, process of everyone coming together and then getting into the podcast. All of us kind of just started chilling, though, mainly off of my brother. Essentially, him coming in and being like, hey, you want to chill with this guy? Sure, why not? And then later on in life, hey, you want to chill with this guy? Yeah, why not? Hey, you want to chill with this guy? Yeah, sure, fuck it. So I ended up hanging out with everyone, and that's essentially how it kind of started. When you talk to them about it, I know I've heard their stories between explaining me to other people, since I am a younger guy. I was 14, essentially 13, 14 when I met DJ, and way younger, obviously, when I met Corn. So I was one of the started smoking with the older guys. They have to explain to anyone that comes around that's older, like, hey, don't fuck around with that kid. Like, that kid's okay.
Yeah.
Like, DJ didn't smoke with me until he smoked with my mom, who was in the same room with me while I was smoking. So it was kind of like yeah, you can smoke with him, I don't care. You're a good person. He's a good person. Be good people. Don't fuck around, don't do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Because with Corn being around so long, he was kind of like a adopted child of my mom's too. So it was just one of those, everyone just chilling there, kind of came together, started talking shit, started hanging out, moving on down the line a little bit. All of us started going our separate ways, and kind of now the podcast to this day, sitting at a point where it's more like getting together and chilling, just from trying to like summarize it, because this is long stories of all the shit kicking and stupid stuff and the random, like, here's a fun little tidbit that happened during all this random shit. My brother got his balls into Ethan's hand one day and almost to his mouth.
What?
By a good old-fashioned taste test. Yeah.
Good old-fashioned what?
Alright, so you've been a part of have you ever been a part of like a blind taste test, or seen the blind taste test and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah.
For like food and whatnot? Well, we were doing it specifically on, DJ had a good idea, Ethan jumped in, Corn, everyone jumped in. They were like, oh, well, we'll buy 2 separate weeds and we'll do a taste test to see who, like, this was before any of us had medical cards, anything like this, where we were going to the street dealers. It's one of those good old-fashioned, let's see who shits better.
Yeah.
So, everyone puts a blindfold on, we do our thing, take a hit off those pipes, or it gets to Ethan. Well, we take a delayed time in between the second pipe to hit Ethan, where my brother whipped out his nuts. And we can only go off of what their reactions were after that, because it was like, okay, I don't even want to see this, but I want to, like, it's like you don't want to see it, but you want to be there to be able to tell this story.
It's a car wreck.
Exactly. It's one of those, you want to stop the people, but fuck it, just sit back and watch. Sometimes God just smiles on everyone. And this was one of those days where he was grinning. So fucking, all you hear is, dude, what the fuck's in my hand? Oh my god, I almost fucking put that to my mouth. And then it's like turn over and, yeah, dude, that was Carter's balls all up on you, bro. Sorry, man, but that was fucking funny. He was pissed off for the rest of the day. That was that cat Ethan that I was speaking of. He's actually in like our first few podcast episodes.
Yeah, I think I picked up on your podcast either a few episodes before y'all started doing the celebrity brawls, but like ever since those celebrity brawls been over, I've been listening a lot. But it's before even that or whatever. I mean, I would always see y'all tweeting and everything on Twitter and everything, and I would always retweet y'all shit and you and the hashtag Blackout Podcast and a couple of others and everything. And I would always remember seeing your stuff in the feed and everything. And it's you kind of spoke on it a little bit earlier, how when you started listening to podcasts, it was only the mainstream shit, and then when you became a podcaster, you start listening to all the little guys that's kind of like you. So I mean, that's what it was. It was just like, fuck, I gotta add them to the queue. Let me save an episode so I remember to listen to it later. And then damn, I listen to all this other shit and I forget to listen to the episode. And then I got like kind of a OCD in my thing. I was like, if I put a new episode in my phone to listen to, and if it get more than a week old, say a new episode come out before I listen to the old one, I delete the old one and put the new one in. It was just like a mess. And like one day I finally listened, and then I was like, this is great. And I never stopped.
Yeah, well, we definitely appreciate the listening, man. And then on top of it, I think that's actually how we found out about you too, is just through random tweets, through how us tagging, like how you got. I think we added on like Twitter first or something like that.
Yeah.
Or was it on Instagram? Twitter?
I think it was Twitter.
It was one of the two. And then, I can't remember if it was DJ hitting me up or me hitting him up. That's the main thing. I'm like, dude, have you checked this guy out yet? No, I haven't. All right, well, fucking add this guy. Start looking at his shit. All right, start liking his shit. And then kind of working with the same with like how you were speaking about hashtag Blackout. I was just working that way, and it's like, all right, cool. And then started checking you out, and I was like, oh shit, this guy's actually pretty fucking funny. It was random. It literally is the title of the Random Ramblings with Rob. It's one of those, like you were saying in the very beginning of this, it's your chance to just say, fuck it, and show you can do whatever you want to with it.
Yeah.
Now that's essentially what we're trying to do with the podcast. Hopefully it stays that way and doesn't go too crazy. We definitely didn't want it to ever hit a niche podcast, so that's why we haven't. If you look at it, we're basically a movie podcast at this point now, with everything going on with the sexy street fights, with the you throwing fight cards at us essentially now, with how the Jet Li fight that went down.
Yeah.
I heard the voicemail, dude. That made me sad. I thought they were actually kicking ass as old men. Like, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah, man. I was kind of, and the only reason that I knew that is because I like those guys so much, and like when I like a certain actor, or just fighting. I like fighting. I like martial arts movies in general. I like to kind of study it or whatever. And I'm just sitting there and I'm looking at the frames, man, and it's like, that don't even look like him. Then like I started noticing, like when they show certain scenes, like when the stunt guys are fighting, that's a fucking wig. What the hell?
Yeah, man, it was just one of those like, oh no, it was like a shocker. It was just like, oh no, half that movie got sucked out. I mean, it was already halfway gone with the kid from Sky High in it, but damn.
Yeah, and then I started thinking about it logically. I was like, goddamn, well, they're in their 40s and 50s by this time anyway, man. It's time catching up to them. Jackie Chan got a fucking hole in his head right now, dude.
Yeah, he can't be doing shit. That's one I was like, holy fuck. And then I'm pretty sure it was at one point in time he actually snapped his neck too on some of the random stunts he was doing. That wasn't even like a major movie. Just one of the ones he was doing stunt work for, and I think it was Hong Kong, or is it Beijing? Which one is he? Where is he from? Is it Hong Kong or Beijing?
One of them, or China.
One of the big China cities. Broke his neck in one big China city. So. Yeah.
So I mean, I kind of I don't blame him from not being all the way in the movie.
Yeah, I can understand at that point. It's one of those, why are you going to kill yourself when you could just sit back and kind of collect money? Because it wasn't, even though I was talking shit on The Kid from Sky High, I dug that movie. I actually really liked it.
Oh, yeah.
It was a little bit of a disappointment finding out that they weren't actually, like, doing the hardcore stunts, but it's completely understandable.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the Expendables, Jet Li was in that, and, like, that was him. Or whatever, because I mean, he had some.
That's very true. What the?
Yeah, I mean, he had some physical involvement in the movie, but it wasn't as much as the Forbidden Kingdom was. I mean, he wasn't jumping off of pillars and doing back flips and all kind of crazy shit. I mean, he was just pretty much, doing what he could within his means.
He was more realistic fighting, it seemed, or somewhat realistic fighting in the Expendables. Like it is the movie still, so some shit gets a little torn, but either way, it was a little bit more grounded.
Yeah, I mean, and I love those movies, man. Like Fast and the Furious and the Expendables, man. I love that shit because, I mean, all the shit is make-believe, so why are you going to try to sit there, pick it, and analyze it? They're not trying to make it realistic. It's a fucking make-believe movie.
See, when you look at it in those senses with movies, you can actually enjoy them the way that they were meant to be. Because that's how the director's doing it. He knows this shit ain't real. He doesn't care that it's not real. He's like, have you ever seen a car fucking do this? Have you ever seen this do this? No, let's do it. Let's see it.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I mean, if you want to get all antsy and fidgety about that bullshit, just go on Mythbusters and try to do it for real. So you can just shut the fuck up. Leave the movies alone.
Yeah. One question you have, since you brought up the top actors battle, which one was your favorite one?
Out of what?
Out of the top actors face-off.
Oh, I like when y'all came back and did the stuff, like, after it was over, said and done, like how y'all came back and did the shit with Robert Downey Jr. and who's the other guy?
Oh shit, Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin, yeah, I like that. I didn't really go through each episode with the whole fights and everything. Well, I was just kind of checking in and out. Pretty much like, everything that y'all been doing most recently, I've been digging that shit because that was my suggestions. but like, given the stuff that you've been given or whatever, I mean, yeah, they were my suggestions, but I mean, y'all ran with it in your own way and everything, and you brought some stuff to the, to those things that, I wouldn't even think about,
Yeah, that's awesome. Hell yeah. That's one thing that I do like about through the podcast and everything else is it seems like a lot of people, especially the Paul, definitely like the Paula Patton fight because that was one of those every one of us in the car had to actually look her up and be like, who is this?
Yeah.
And then it sparked a fire because it was the whole like, all right, well, you want to say Rosario still won? Even though me and Corn were fueling for Eva Mendes, no offense to Rosario, it was me personally on that. If you look at any of our pages, it's just be one actor. That's the thing that happened with Tom Hanks too, when Tom Hanks was taking on everyone. Because realistically, Tom Hanks was mine and DJ's number one on our list. There's no one else above him. That's why it was so drawn up to Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Because all that top actor battle was literally us deciding what should we do for season 2. Like, well, fuck, I don't know. All right, top 10 actors. All right, cool. And it was all a personalized thing. So it was fuck. So once we got down to it, we ran. I think Tom Hanks like 2-3 weeks in a row, and we were getting close to doing that with Rosario Dawson. Because honestly, I think all three of us, even if we talk shit, we're trying to pick up and prod to get her out of there for a second so we could have more and more, actors or actresses start popping up.
Yeah.
Or at least that's why I did it. Because it was one of those, like, fuck it, dude. Let's vote against him, especially since D had to actually do a challenge this week.
Yeah.
The no cursing through the whole episode, which fucking Bravo, dude. I tried to piss him off so fucking bad, and we only got a few out of him.
Yeah, he loopholed through that shit.
He did loophole, but that's a bit of a challenge in its own. It's one of those, all right, well, let's try to figure out how to get it to where he can't loophole. We got to blatantly let him curse. All right, piss him off. That's all I can think is, fuck it, piss him off. Usually people curse when they're mad.
Yeah. But it was good. You had me cracking up.
I was surprised though with the Paula Patton too. Though I was just like, "Holy shit, who is this?" And then started looking up for IMDb. You know, everyone searches up the Google and the IMDb or the Wikipedias. Started checking out. I was like, "Holy shit, this is the love interest from freaking Idlewild. Hell yeah!" And the chick from Deja Vu, word, hell yeah.
And Mission Impossible.
Damn, forgot about that one.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Ghost Protocol and the one after that, the Rogue Nation.
Oh, that was another one with Korn too. Was make sure that Idlewild keeps slipping in there. I don't know if you heard anything on Korn hates any movie that has music in it that's like any singing or anything like that. Like he doesn't watch those parts of the movies. He'll watch the movie, but not those parts. Which is, in my mind, fucking ridiculous, man. Why are you gonna watch a Disney movie that sings and you know the fucker sings, and you're not gonna watch the fucking movie anymore because it sings?
I don't know. That is kind of weird.
Like, I forgot how many different movies we went through on just that part alone. With them just like, what the fuck? You don't like this movie? What about this movie? Oh, come on. Oh, Jerry Maguire also brought into that one. Had nothing to do with singing on that one. It had more to do with like, oh, well, that's like if a girl was in a movie and they kissed and it was a romantic thing. It's not a manly movie anymore.
So he just straight. I want motherfuckers punching people in the face. I want spit and blood and piss.
I guess I'm not too sure on that one because we're like, what, Jerry Maguire? Show me the money. He was like, oh, that's a sports movie. I was like, that's a romance. Come on.
Yeah, you gotta.
Where the hell did my phone charger go?
You got a little weird taste. But
No, I think he just tried to get the action off of us on that one, man. Just like let's see if these guys burn a little bit.
Yeah. He do put that out there. He say some stuff that like for shock value and kind of try to get up under your skin. What killed me, what make me laugh or whatever. It's like whenever you say the N-word, you know, I'm just like.
Yeah, yeah, he has some brass fucking balls. It's one of those, like, this is a game we play running around the town. We roll down the window, and any white person, they're getting it. N-word thrown directly at them.
What?
That game is called N-word bombing.
Okay.
Now, just out of respect, I'm not going to be throwing the N-word around on your show, nothing like that. I'm not Red Corn, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But yes, in town, any white person that we see, if we're rolling all three together, it's alright, roll down the window. If there's not a stoplight coming up, they're getting it thrown at them. It was a game that was mainly derived, I guess, on one of those, dude, let's fuck with white people for once. Let's like reverse racist that. Which was fucking weird, because hell, last week I got called a Tom, which didn't even make fucking sense. I was just like, that's a term that black people use to call other black people white. What the fuck what does that even mean? Like, are you calling me black or?
Well, like,
I am, cause shit.
Yeah, well, like, I guess, like, in a sense, it was like, it's supposed to be like somewhat of an insult because, like, you know, white guys would be like Tad and Tom and Bob and, you know, a basic name.
Yes, I took it as an insult. I didn't understand it. I Kevin Harted that bitch. I don't understand it, so I'm just gonna take it as an insult. I was just like, what the hell? I actually told that customer, fuck you. Surprised I didn't get fired the next day.
Surprise, motherfucker.
God damn, I forgot what video came out shortly after that with that same dude. It was a surprise, motherfucker. Some fries, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Some dude
His last name is Benson. I keep forgetting his first name. Darius Benson or something like that. I follow him on freaking YouTube. He got a whole bunch of crazy videos.
Oh yeah, he's a big ass motherfucker too.
He's one of the Vine guys. He blew up off of Vine. The guy that was doing the skits, I mean.
Yeah.
But the original clip came from an episode of Dexter, season 1, I think.
Oh, okay. I actually never peeped out Dexter.
It's good. The ending might have you feeling some type of way, but I mean, it was a good series. I mean, it's off the air now, so you can binge it all the way through.
Hey, that's the trippy thing. Like when me and my wife got together, movie collections galore mashed together. That's the first season of Dexter. Never watched it.
Yeah, that's same.
Nothing against it. It's one of those. It's there, so I know it's there. Like if it was gone tomorrow, I would feel sad about it.
Yeah. So have you ever watched The Wire or The Sopranos?
The Sopranos, definitely. I've never watched The Wire.
Same
Nothing
here.
against The Wire, nothing like that. Just never really checked it out. Definitely love The Sopranos, though.
Yeah, that's the same here. I never seen The Sopranos or The Wire.
Oh, there were certain things that was just like they were mass hits and never really checked it out. Oh, I didn't check out Friends until that shit came to Netflix. Like, I watched a few episodes growing up, but never checked that show out until recently. It was like, wow, this actually isn't that bad.
Yeah, I watched it here and there because my wife really liked it, but I never watched it when it was on TV or nothing.
Yeah, honestly, I could say thankfully for like Netflix and shit like that nowadays, because there's a lot of shows that I never really peeped out. Like hell, Boardwalk Empire, never really checked that out when it was on TV. Oh, now it's on what is it? I think it's Amazon, the HBO Go and whatnot. Oh, checked it out. It was like, oh, wow, this series is actually a really good series.
That was another thing. I always wanted to watch that, but I never, it's just like you said. I said, I know it's there. I'll watch it eventually, and never did it yet.
Oh, it's one of those. There's a million things you can watch at the moment. The thing that fucks with me all the time is right before bed, I'm ready to watch something. Like, all right, I'll watch something new. If I do watch something new, pass out in the middle of it, or I get in that mode of like, fuck it, I want to watch something I've seen a million times before.
Yeah. I like to try to find new stuff. I love watching things that's like already completed or whatever, so I don't have to wait for a new season to come out or wait next week for a new episode. Like with those Netflix exclusives and the Amazon exclusives and the Hulu exclusives, that's fucking cake, man, because they'll put out one whole season at a time and I can just watch them all. If you got Amazon Prime or access to those shows on Amazon, a good show to look up is called Sneaky Pete.
Oh, with Giovanni Ribisi.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Oh, I've been wanting to peep that one out too, just because it's Giovanni Ribisi, the weird ass actor that made it onto those top 10s. Fucking, I think his was mainly because like Ted and his weird roles.
Yeah, but
what is the premise of Sneaky Pete? I've actually been wanting to check that out. I haven't really checked it out though.
Con artist. He goes to jail. Because a heist that he did before he went in, he tried to do this heist, this big con or whatever, and he got found out. And to keep from getting murdered or whatever, he robbed a bank. So they put him in jail and he can get away from the other guys. But while he's in jail, his cellmate was always telling him about this place, where he grew up and all kind of stuff like that. And he kind of favored him and everything. So the con was he was going to get out on parole and pretend to be the guy that was his cellmate because they, similar. And the guy told him so much about, where he grew up and the people and everything that he went home and masqueraded as him. And he, executed all kind of different crazy plans and whatever you think of. Like from what I just told you, I'm pretty sure in your mind you can already bust some plot holes and some things and like how people don't know. But throughout the whole season of that show, he plugs up all those holes that you're thinking about right now.
Okay, the one main one that I could think of is just like, do they look the same?
Similar. And the way they and the way they get around that is that the family that he goes to, you know, pretend to, they haven't seen that guy in like 10 or more years. So obviously his facial features is going to be different from when they seen him last, because they haven't seen him since he was like a kid.
Okay. So essentially, like that the dude that he does con goes in pretty young, and essentially now it's 10 years later. So
yeah,
okay.
It's either 10 or 20 years later.
Damn, actually, that sounds like a good ass premise of the show. That's what really caught my attention, though, was Giovanni Ribisi, and I was like, huh. All I heard really about it was he was a con artist, and I was like, fuck it, I'll already check it out. Now I definitely want to check it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was real good, and they ended as they're setting up for another season. So I hope they do that.
Hopefully so. That would be badass. So that's one thing. Like I noticed with did you ever check out the show 11/22/63, the Hulu original series?
Oh, was that like the time travel movie or something like that?
Yeah, it was based off of. I guess it was based off of a book. I'm not too sure.
I don't know.
No, either way.
I know what you're talking about, but I never seen it.
Yeah, that was actually a good series till the ending. They didn't set it up to where it could be a second season, and if it did, it wouldn't make much sense on it.
Yeah.
Like, you can essentially watch that entire season in about a day, and it's a good story leading up, and then everything's all accumulating all quickly, and then bam, kind of happens, and you're just like, oh shit, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. I mean,
I definitely don't want to be a...
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I definitely don't want to be a deterrent to the show, because that's when I do still watch the show over and everything like that. So it's definitely a good show. It's just one of those... The ending is one that either you accept it, or it's kind of just like, all right, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I would like to see more of, that you know, people start making shows that are meant to end. I mean, they don't go beyond, you know, a certain point. Because, I mean, every show isn't meant to have 2 seasons or 3 seasons or 5 seasons or fucking 14 seasons or whatever. I want to see somebody carefully craft a show from beginning till its end, you know? You see what I'm saying? I mean, I know you can change things in the middle and adjust and all kind of stuff. I mean, that's cool. That's fine. But you have a start point and you have a definite end point. And however you get from that start to that end is all up to you. But I want it, you know, if, hey, we only writing this for 5 seasons, I want to see it constructed and crafted for those 5 seasons, and not no loopholes and way, well, it could have ended like this and go this way and make another season and then come back 10 years later. Fuck that. I want it to start and end.
Oh, I definitely know what you mean on that one. Because, the show that I'm speaking of right now, it does have a start and end point, kind of like what you're saying right now. And I think it was only crafted for 1 season. I don't think they ever really wanted to extend it. It was more of a fan base, like, come on, dude, let's see a second season.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it has to do with, because now people as a whole don't want to let shit go.
Yeah. They
want to see that last season. They want to squeeze every ounce of life until they just say, fuck it, and I hate this now.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't, you know, speak against that, because there's plenty of shows that, you know, got canceled early that you're like, fuck, that was a good show. That could have lasted a little bit longer. And there's a few that are coming back out.
Yeah.
But it's just like damn, that would be a bad... I like your idea there. One of those, like, no, 5's done. Fuck you, I'm not pushing 6. 5 is fucking done. One of those, like, no, we're going to do it in this time span. So I think it does have a little bit to do with each season can only be, like, a certain amount of episodes or some shit in TV nowadays. You can't go past a certain number without looking weird.
Yeah. And then, like, another reason why, you know, some shows can go... you know, or at least try to go a lot of episodes, syndication. Once your show gets syndicated, you know, you could sell it and, you know, make royalties off of that shit forever.
Yeah, no, it lasts so long. You have, you know, shows, especially back in the day, that were already making money through syndication, coming back out nowadays, and that's the whole reason, mainly why. I dug the show Hawaii Five-0 when they did the remake of it.
Yeah.
good show, but you could tell that was mainly like alright, we made money with it back in the day. We still have all these trademarks and copyrights and royalty sections where we can actually make money. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Cause like back in, you seen the original It?
Yes, with Pennywise the Killer Clown.
Yeah. That was originally made it was made for TV. It was a made for TV movie. So, I mean, they constructed that in a way. That's why it was so long, and it was segmented like it was. It was made for TV, and people can still do that now. I mean, this is the trap that we're kind of stuck in now. We have Netflix, and people want full seasons now, and then you have the other side to where you have this big series of something like a book. You like this whole Dark Tower thing that's coming out. That's like I think it's 8 books that Stephen King wrote about that whole series, and they trying to cram a lot of that shit into this movie that's coming out or whatever. You can't do that. I mean, that would be something more of that you would make into a series rather than just maybe 1 or 2, 3 movies. And they forgetting that formula. Like, I mean, you can make this big elaborate movie, like, because people ain't gonna want to go sit in the movies for 3 hours for you to tell a whole elaborate story. Why not make it into a mini series, not seasons, but a mini series? Like, all right, you're gonna get hour 1 tonight, and then next week you get hour 2, or you can go 3 days in a row. You can get hour 1 tonight, hour 2 tomorrow, hour 3 tomorrow, and just build it different ways. It doesn't have to be seasons. It doesn't have to be a full-length feature film. Be creative.
I definitely see where you're coming from on that one. So, like you were saying on Netflix alone, how we made both points tonight on this one was you get a series at a time when it comes to, or a season at a time when it comes to Netflix original series, Amazon, any of these ones that has originals. It's that day, whole thing. So shit, what happens when you binge watch that entire season in a day? You either got to rewatch it or wait. Sometimes, I know, like, I think Daredevil took like a year in between coming back out or something like that. Or it was a long enough span to where it's like come the fuck on almost every day. Like, okay, well, when are we gonna have the next one? It's like a drug in its own, I guess. At this point.
Because I mean, we get everything now. We gotta have it now, and like with Marvel and there's Netflix series or whatever. That's kind of what they're doing. What I was just kind of talking about. But it's different stories compiling into one big story, which is going to be the Defenders whenever that comes out. So they gave you the Daredevil portion of it. They gave you the Jessica Jones portion of it. They gave you the Luke Cage portion of this one big story that'll culminate in the end with all these different stories and different series that they gave you to make one bigger story.
Oh, yeah. It's one big-ass story. Oh, I think it has to do a little bit, too, with them, bringing them or accumulating them into one section of it, to kind of being like how Marvel's doing with their cinematic movies themselves. And now, at the end of the day, let's face it, Marvel's going to be racking in money for a long time off of these things.
Yeah,
I don't really see them having a hard ending to any of these.
No.
I think that's another thing that's happening with even DC on their side with their shows that are on TV right now. Is a lot of them right now don't seem like they're going to have an end or an actual ending point. It's just like all right, well, is Stephen Amell going to play Green Arrow until he's 75, or is how little kid from Gotham actually going to be an adult by the time they finish Gotham?
Yeah. And see, and that's another thing. I mean, that's why they expanding the universe into, lesser known characters or whatever. Because, I mean, you're not going to do the end all be all of everything with the original Avengers. Because, I mean, they're going to have to, there's different iterations of the Avengers. I mean, they got some iterations to where Wolverine is in the Avengers and all these different other characters. That's why they introduce so many different characters. because if they would have just went off of phase 1, where it was just Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Hulk, and who else they got? I think that was it, right?
Captain America?
Yeah, Captain America. How the fuck I forgot him, right? Yeah, I mean, that franchise, if they would have just stayed with those core characters and not implemented any new ones, that whole thing would have been stale. Because, I mean, eventually going to run out of villains or whatever, but yeah, so they just, start implementing different characters and everything and branching off and going into other character story. Because now we got freaking Ant-Man, goddamn Black Panther, and shit, just a whole slew of motherfuckers.
Oh, I'm honestly surprised they haven't came out with the Black Widow and Jeremy Renner team up movie.
Yeah. I mean, and they leave room to where they could do that. But I mean, I see now at whatever point it would be probably prequels or whatever. I don't see a continuing thing based on what they already have.
Yeah, they would have to go, all right, let's go beforehand, because where they're leading now, how they have this set up for, isn't it even more movies past Infinity Wars and all that stuff?
Yes, there's freaking Infinity War 1 and 2. They got Black Panther. I don't know if that's after the fact or before the fact. I mean, they're going to pull shit out of their ass. They got movies all the way up scheduled till 2020.
Which is, hell, that's one of those, when you think about it, Robert, they're going to have to start recasting people.
Or just killing motherfuckers off.
Yeah. I see that one happening next. She's like, you know what? You're old. Fuck you. You're dead too.
Yeah, because I mean, then you think about that, man. It's just like I was saying. There's different iterations of different characters. Because I mean, there's not one true Spider-Man. I mean, Peter Parker was the first, but there was many Spider-Mans after him. So I mean, they can incorporate that in there. There was different iterations of Iron Man. They can incorporate that in there. There's fucking She-Hulk that nobody has touched yet. So,
which I don't know how the hell they haven't done that one yet. They already have the Hulk. You would think, especially since they want to do everything like gender specific to like be equal and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She-Hulk will be good. Fuck. I have no clue who would play She-Hulk. They would probably find some sort of fighter, or that chick that was in friggin' Deadpool.
Yeah.
Just have her crossover, just with a wink and a nod, like, no one's gonna notice you're in green paint.
Yeah, I mean, shit, they do that with anybody. Look at Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, very true.
Well, shit.
Honestly, he did.
Josh Brolin right now. He's fucking Thanos, and he about to be Cable in the Deadpool movie.
That's a trip right there. I honestly thought they would be going like a little bit older, to be quite honest, with like I heard, not rumors but fan pics and whatnot of the guy from Avatar.
Yeah.
The douchebag from Avatar.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks like he would be a good Cable. Oh, they throw some white hair on Josh Brolin.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be more of an aesthetic thing with him. I mean, he might put a little weight on for the role, because I mean, from what I remember from comic books and the original X-Men TV show, Cable was a big motherfucker.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so I mean, they're going to add to him or whatever, and give him more of a Cable feel or whatever. But the guy that we just spoke about from Don't Breathe and Avatar or whatever, he kind of has a similar features of Cable, and I don't think they would have had to add too much to him. Yeah,
me personally, I think he would have been a good one. Oh, Josh Brolin definitely. How do you feel upon Tom Hardy getting announced as Venom for the Solo spinoff?
Man, see, I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm not going to judge it because, I mean, I'm not seeing any footage or, I haven't seen the thing yet. So I can't really, I'm going to watch it regardless. But to me, what I feel is like they should cast, more, unknown people. Somebody that's not like Tom Hardy was just fucking Bane. And damn, he got all these other bigger movies with him, and he or whatever. I don't think he really needs to be Venom. You know, I think.
Sorry, my dog is running off.
Yeah, let him run off. He's a dog. He come back. But I think they should have gave it to a lesser known name or whatever, or unknown, somebody that we haven't seen a lot of. But shit, it's Tom fucking Hardy. He's somebody gay for a day, right?
Oh, he's at least a gay for a day for one person throughout the entire world every day. It's Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Chasing down bad guys, breaking legs in England.
They had a little thing going around today about with they was asking about who would you get to play Carnage if they ever brought him in. And that has
that would be sick.
Yeah, somebody put a little news article of the top 30 picks to play Carnage, and they had some good picks in there. They had the guy that played. You seen Jessica Jones, right?
Yes.
They got the guy that played Kilgrave on the list. Then they got the guy who played the new Freddy Krueger. He was on the list.
Rorschach?
Yeah. They had dude that played Murdoch in the new A-Team movie. He was on the list. They had a whole bunch of good picks on there. I mean, I'm not good with names. I know faces and characters, but they had a lot of good names on that list that could play Carnage.
The one I saw a while back, this was like, I think this was even before they were talking about even spin-off movies or even the new Spider-Man movie. They're just talking about who would be like a cool character for Carnage.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey popped up.
Yeah, they had him on the list too.
Okay, we might have been looking at the same list.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was one I was like, huh, maybe. Oh, because I know from the comic books, not every one of these villains that become muscular, crazy style, are always muscular when they first start off. You know,
yeah.
Obviously, even on the heroes, you have like Bruce Banner turning into the Hulk.
Yeah.
So that actually wouldn't be too bad of an idea. Just from me personally, I didn't care too much for the movie, the number 23. But
yeah, I've heard.
yeah, but it does show his range. Again, trying to throw DJ under the bus on that episode. So it actually does show some range, because it's one of those like, okay, well, he does have a ability to play a serious role, or someone that might be a little bit tweaked in the head enough to where you can see Carnage actually coming on out.
Yeah. Now, since we kind of
Tom Hardy, Venom. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Oh, with the Tom Hardy as Venom, like I was saying on the podcast, he has the body build for it. It is going to be a surprise to see how he does with acting. I know when Bronson, like I was saying on the podcast and everything like that, he was very good at playing a crazy-ass personality without just his normal whispering grunting. So it did have the ability for it. I can definitely see it, but from everything I've seen, Tom Hardy's a short little shit. Like, no offense to, obviously, you would beat my ass, so I'm not saying anything like that.
Yeah.
But he's a shorter guy. You would imagine, Eddie Brock would be at least a little bit taller, even if he was skinnier.
Yeah. I mean, they could fix that with camera angles and shit, though.
Yeah, that's just picking holes in random shit. It's just one of those, I guarantee you, if they do it right and they actually do it the way that I assume Sony would want to do it with, the success of all these movies, they'll finally produce a damn good fucking Venom character.
Yeah. Did you see that movie Life with the alien creature in space and shit?
I did not. At first, I thought you were meaning like with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence Life. But no, I actually didn't check it out. How was it?
It's kind of creepy, but like the way the little creature is or whatever, a lot of people can say that could be the prequel to Venom or whatever, because it came back from space and everything to Earth on Eddie Brock or whatever the fuck. It came back with the astronaut dude, and it got on to Eddie Brock and everything. But the way they described the little creature, the entity in that movie, is like that could have been, the symbiote Venom.
Well, that would be trippy. Find out those are the two movies that aren't technically connected, but connected at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, you know how people analyze things or whatever. I mean, it sounds similar, so it could be the same. But we talking about Venom and everything, and the Spider-Man. What do you think about your boy, the current Spider-Man, Tom Holland? He's going to be Drake in the Uncharted movie.
Whoa, Nathan Drake?
Yes, he's going to be Nathan Drake. And
that's a trip. Well, how long are they waiting until his characteristics develop a little bit more?
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I just heard. Well, I didn't even read. It just started popping up on my feed like maybe yesterday that I seen it.
Oh yeah. Hell, me personally, I don't really have much to say bad about Tom Holland. I like how I've checked out. His Spider-Man was pretty badass, and from what I've heard, not 100%, just from what I've heard, random clippets thrown up on the internet. Doesn't he do a lot of his own stunts too?
Yeah, he does.
So that would actually be pretty cool, and that's one video game movie.
Yeah,
that probably actually would be a good video game to movie. It's hard to find those, but that one was already set up cinematic in the presentation of the game and everything like that. So. But that's also what I said about Assassin's Creed.
Oh God, that was just... Don't even talk about that movie.
I think the worst thing they ever did was pop it into PG-13 rating on that one.
The worst thing they ever did was made the damn trailer with the Kanye West music. When I seen that trailer...
Okay, yeah, never mind. The second worst thing they ever did was PG.
Yeah. When I first seen the trailer for that movie, I knew it was going to be ass. Usually I'll be like, I'm going to give this movie a chance. But I watched it to confirm that it was ass.
Well, the way that they set up the trailer, I think it was almost a year ago now, they had Michael Fassbender for 2 seconds as the character.
Yeah.
And then it split into gameplay, but it was well off enough to where I was like, oh shit, is this the new trailer? And then you're like, wait, I'm watching the same gameplay of something I played 5-6 years ago now. So I was on board with Assassin's Creed when it first came out for Xbox 360. I was like, oh, it was one of those random buys. This kind of looks interesting. Kind of looks like Prince of Persia. Fuck it, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Tried it out. Fell in love with it, but
I'm noticing I'm lisping a lot more. I think my gap getting bigger. Not my thigh gap, but my teeth gap. Anyway, that was the episode, and I appreciate Rookie for giving me his time. I know he got kids and dogs running around the goddamn house and everything, distracting him from whatever the fuck he trying to do, which is podcast with me. And we recorded this episode I ain't gonna say a couple, but a month or so ago, and it's crazy listening back to it, how relevant it is with what's going on right now, the Tom Hardy thing with the Venom movie, the Spider-Man Homecoming movie, which should be out sometime next week or this week, and just I sold them on Sneaky Pete, which is a good show that everybody should watch, and yeah, man, it's great. That's one down. You can put your hash mark. Whoosh, and we got 2 to go. Up next on the docket is DJ. He's the black guy in the group, or half of the black guy in the group, because he ain't all the way black. And we discuss some of the similar topics, podcasting, and how the show came to be with him. And I think majority of the episode for this one with Rookie, we talk about movies and everything. And I think the majority of the things that we talk about on the episode with DJ is weed. It's a lovely substance. I wish I could partake in it, but it is what it is. I live vicariously through the JNT Baggers. See, I had to pause because I was about to say T-Baggers, JNT Baggers. So, yeah, look forward to that episode. And then after that, we'll wrap it up with a bow with harrowing tales from corn or red corn. You know, the shit that you eat and you shit it out, and the shit is still the same in the shit. All right, let's get into the thing that we do at the end of the show. You can follow me on Twitter at itsbrob. That's ITSBROB. If you want to talk professional wrestling and other general shenanigans, that's the account that you use. And speaking of professional wrestling, I also co-host a wrestling podcast called The Pipe Bomb with McCool and Company. And you can follow that show on Twitter as well at The Pipe Bomb, N-A-I. Hey, my show also has a Twitter, and you can find it on Twitter, because it's Twitter, at, wait for it, RRR_podcast. That's 3 R's _podcast for updates on the show and all kinds of retweets for the show and the show with the show inside the show. What else we got? Got a Facebook page. You can look up the Random Rambles with Rob podcast and join the community. Post some random shit. Got an Instagram. If you want to see me walk around Walmart, use the hashtag WalmartLog, like a poop, a brick, or a log that you build a cabin with, like Abraham Lincoln, but you don't get shot in the head at the end. So check it out. There's only one Random Rambles with Rob Instagram account. I know there's people been trying to join the private account. It's the motherfuckers of RRPC, the MFS of RRPC. Don't follow that account unless you're given to the show, which that is strictly reserved for my contributors. Brandon McIntyre and Glenn Abbott is the only 2 that I have right now, so that motherfucking Instagram account is for them only. If you want to be a part of that Instagram account and get cool rewards such as digital downloads and chances to win prizes and all kind of shit like that, go to randomrobcast.com, and there you can see all kinds of manners of ways to contribute to the show, whether it be through straight cash to my PayPal or buying merchandise. I got a whole bunch of shirts, other items, using my Amazon links. You just click on the Amazon banner, take you to Amazon, and you shop like normal. And you don't have to pay extra, but I get a little bit on the back end, not like the butt sex we was talking about in prison. And I would greatly appreciate that. I got Amazon wish list if you want to give me items so I can take steps forward to producing you better and more content, whether it be audio or video type, which I'm really excited about getting into the video stuff. I got some ideas I want to do. I want to go around Walmart asking random questions to people from you, the listener. But that's in the future. We're working on that. We're going to get there. We going to make it. We gon' make it. Shout outs to you, as always, the listener, for giving me your support. Shout out to what it is. What's the country? I think it's Japan. They number 2 on my people that listen the most to me. So konnichiwa and stuff. I don't know the language. I apologize. If you're listening to my show, obviously you know some forms of English, so you're hearing my gratitude and appreciation for you. In Canada, you're up there, and whatever country you're from, whether it be the United States, Singapore, Portugal, or wherever it is, I appreciate you. And that's about it. Pipe Bomb with McCool and Company. I already said that. Look it up on the NAI network. Shout out to Matt McCool. Shout out to the Notorious Jossie, my co-host. And I'm out this piece. Before I go, though, I forgot to tell you, the Random Rambles with Rob podcast is in a partnership with Hush Your Face Entertainment, a group of podcasts that join together to promote podcast love and sex. That's my S. Anthony Thomas voice. I'm going to get in a parallel position with the ground, and I'm going to run at you. Then I'm going to jump in the air and put 2 feet in your motherfucking chest. Shout out to S. Anthony Thomas. He's my podcast OG. And fuck, man, I'm tired. I'll see you next time.
Hush Your Face is coming straight to your ears. A podcast network that's changing gears, bringing fresh funky pods with a fresh funky beat. A family of pods that are bringing the heat. There ain't no stopping us. Keep coming back to us, sick ass pods that'll make you hush. www.hushyourface. www.hushyourface. www.hushyourface.com.